Hey you guys, it's Moonlander back with another horror movie review, and today we're going to be looking at the new movie called Leatherface. Now this is a prequel to one of the greatest horror movies ever made, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it's made by these Frenchmen that made, in my opinion, which I've never heard anybody else say this, but these guys made Inside, and to me personally, I think that's one of the best horror movies ever made. So after I saw the trailer for this Leatherface, I was really excited. It looked like it was going to be really cool. And the people making it have made a really awesome horror movie. It had Stephen Dorff in it, so I was really excited for this movie. So this movie starts off at the birthday party of Leatherface when he's a kid. And this is when he first gets a chainsaw. And his mom wants him to use it on a guy that's supposedly been stealing their pigs. Shortly after this birthday party, it jumps to when they entrap some young woman into being smashed by a large tractor engine. And this is Stephen Dorff's daughter. And so now he has a personal vendetta against this family. And Leatherface, as a kid, ends up in protective custody and in some sort of facility. And the movie fast forwards 10 years, where him and several other messed up children escape from this facility, taking a young nurse as hostage. And even 10 years later, Stephen Dorff still has it out for this family and is heavily invested in finding these kids who he put in this facility. So the things I liked about Leatherface, which isn't much, there was one unforgettable and creepy sex scene in this movie. One of the escaped teens is this gal, and it's never explained or even mentioned, but she has scarring all over the front of her body. So you see her, on top of this guy, and they're having sex on top of an old dead guy, and at one point she even starts making out with this corpse. And it was pretty disturbing, I'll give him that. And I did like Stephen Dorff in this movie, but he's one of those guys I just have a hard time disliking him in anything. He's just got a dynamic presence on screen, and I like him. But at the same time, they don't do much with his character, and the way the movie's made, it's confusing to tell if he's supposed to be a bad guy or what. Because when I think about it, I don't really blame him for anything he does in this movie. And it isn't that much that he does. So it is a little disappointing character, but I still liked him in it. So the bad things about Leatherface is I think it was intentional, but I can't quite be sure. When it fast forwards 10 years, I was confused at which kid was Leatherface. And the teen that it ends up being Leatherface seems nothing like what you would imagine Leatherface to be like as a teen. He was the most normal of all the kids in the movie, and it was just strange decisions in the writing when they were developing these characters. It makes no sense. And I'd also say that overall the family, what small amounts they show of the family, they're lame. They're not like creepy or scary. The mother's probably shown the most, and even her, she just doesn't fit the role. There was not much effort into making this family seem disturbed in the type of environment that would produce a Leatherface. And this movie's full of like just small nonsensical parts. Like there's one part where three of them hide in a dead rotting cow, and now how these three people fit in a cow when one of them was like the size of a cow made no sense. And the fact that they decided to do that, like when there's plenty of places to hide in a forest, it was just thrown in for a gross out part. And I mean, it was just ineffective and dumb. And another small thing is Steven Dorff had a revolver that must have held like 30 rounds. I mean, this guy's like shooting it, and yeah, there's no even hint at him reloading. So my final thoughts on Leatherface is this is a pointless and boring prequel to an amazing horror movie. And other than a few gross out parts in some strong violence, I don't see any point to this movie at all. So it's basically, if you want to watch it just to watch some gross out stuff or a few violent scenes, that's about all you're gonna get out of this. The story's dumb, the characters are uninteresting, and there's no real strong performances by anybody. And if you're wondering, there's only 2 chainsaw kills in the whole movie. So I'm going to give Leatherface a 4 out of 10. And I'm sorry to say that I'm not really looking forward to these guys' next movie. Maybe Inside was just a fluke, because I would never expect them to make this sort of movie after watching Inside. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.